So, being born in the 1970s and being raised in the 1980s, my first introduction to anime was Robotech. Growing up, we got a few Robotech toys here in the States. I was lucky enough to grow up in a military town, so there was a lot of import stuff that came through here. My first Valkyrie was actually a chunky monkey compared to most people who had Jetfire as their first Valkyrie. But growing up, one of the things I always wanted, because strangely enough, I'm slightly more of a Mospeada fan than a Macross fan, I always wanted Invid soldiers. And Meptoys seems to have given us a great offering here with an Invid Scout, which is the first in the line to come out. Now, I try not to support Harmony Gold because I'm a Macross purist and a Mospeada purist, but in this instance, I really don't have much of a choice because there really has never been much of an offering when it comes to Mospeada toys. So let's take a few moments and let's look at this Invid Scout. Come with a flight stand. The flight stand has to be built, and we're not going to play with that today. It does have parts for different flight modes, with or without the booster. Also comes with a baggie full of bolts and a little teeny screwdriver for building the flight stand. Now, the Invid itself, you'll notice he also comes with accessories such as spare joints in case you lose them. And that is one of the genius of the engineering here, because this Invid Scout is designed so if you really can't break it. The legs pop off for flight, and if you happen to break it, they just pop on. Now the gun pods, they pop right on the top, just like this. They well, you know what? I think I grabbed the wrong gun pod. Hold on one second. Sorry about that. I seem to have grabbed the wrong gun pod. I'm actually army building these Invid Scouts, and I actually have 3 of them so far. And I had a little baggie full of parts because I was storing them together. Anyways, as you can see, the gun pods fit on the top. You just basically pop off these little panels right here, and then they just kind of mount on top. As you can see by what I just did, the legs come on and off. The legs, like I said, you really can't pose this thing and break a leg. They just kind of pop back on. Meptoys was nice enough to include extra joints in case you lose one of the joints that goes to the leg. So, this is really, ingeniously designed, because you don't know how many toys I have broken during toy photography or even just taking them out of the box. If you are anybody who collects Japanese toys, you're very familiar with the fact that Japanese toys can be extremely temperamental and actually quite easy to break. I have broken many a Japanese toy. So you'll notice a few skips and jumps in the video. It's because, to be honest, I've gotten super handsy with this toy. He is super fun to play with. But as you can see right here, I have taken off the back jet engine and mounted the space booster. The space booster is, it is what it is. If you've ever watched the anime for Mospeada, you know that the space booster is used when they come out of the clamshell ships. And he has a super, super nice silhouette to him when you decide to put the booster on. Again, I apologize. This is my first video, and looking at this, I've noticed that I'm extremely handsy and blocking the camera. But I'm hoping everybody gets the gist of what it looks like. So you can see I've just taken off the rear booster, and I am putting his arms up, and I'm about to mount the legs back on. So now for the big question on everybody's mind, because I'm sure everybody has this question. How does the Invid Scout scale with actual Legos? So this picture right here is of the Invid Scout beside a Toynami Legos fighter. It is, in my opinion, scales very well. Looking at some of the anime shots, stills and stuff online, this is about the right size. So, scale-wise, it works really good with the Toynami Legos Fighter, or Alpha, if you want to call it an Alpha. Again, I try not to support Harmony Gold, but sadly, nobody has made a Legos action figure. Don't get me wrong, we have had transformable versions like the the Evolution toy, and then of course Arcadia made one, and I think and Toynami made a transformable version. But sadly, I hate to say it, because I own an Arcadia one, and it is very floppy. They all get very loose in the joints very quick. They're good for display, not good for playing with, not good for transforming. And sadly, the only one that's released a non-transformable fighter is Toynami. Which I will say, compared to the Valkyries that Toynami released, the Alpha or Legos fighter is actually quite well done. It's very well articulated, comes with multiple hands, and as you can see with the Meptoys Invid Scout, it scales very well. So this will do great for some action figure pictures in the near future. So finally, I want to talk about the packaging. Because the truth of the matter is, I don't believe this is out on the regular market yet. I haven't seen it pop up in stock at Big Bad Toy Store. I have only found like one other dealer on eBay that carries them. I think, in my personal opinion, these were some kind of factory defect. Now, when I say factory defect, I'm not talking because of the figure itself. The figure itself is actually quite well made, quite well engineered. But when I received these in the mail, I bought them from an eBay seller. He's only got 2 listings for them online. You can buy them individually, or you can buy them by the pallet for over $2,000. Or $20,000, I forget what. I have to look at it, the auction again. Point being is, though, that you'll notice there's 2 different boxes, 2 different types of box art. Like I said, I've already ordered 3 of these. 2 of them came with the box art on the left, and then I got 1 with the box art on the right. Another thing I'll say about the packaging is all the accessories were kind of loose, jumbled around in the trays, and the Invid Scout in his tray was actually turned sideways with 1 leg popped off. Now here's the thing though, these were factory sealed, and all 3 of them came the same. Well, they came not the exact same, but with differences in the way they were packaged. One was packaged backwards, one was packaged sideways with a leg missing. And I'm assuming that the gentleman who's selling these on eBay probably got them from the factory somehow, because they were a defect, because I don't think that Meptoys has officially released these yet. I think those factory defects were because they were sloppily packaged at the plant, or maybe the trays weren't secure enough. I'm not sure what exactly the story is, but I have not found a whole lot of these online. I will include a link to the seller's listing, as well as a his eBay name, if anybody's interested in ordering these online. But as of this minute, when I'm recording this, Big Bad Toy Store still does not have these in stock, and as far as I know, neither does Entertainment Earth. And there don't seem to be any more or many sellers, if any, on eBay at the moment selling them at all either. So keep that in mind when you go looking for these. So, this was my first toy review. There were mistakes made. I know there were. Hopefully, in the future, I can correct these mistakes. It's a learning experience. So, I hope you enjoyed. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments, and make sure to check out my toy photography on Instagram at Plastic Action Punk.